What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to talk about something that I care about very much and has a lot to do with, I guess, a video I watched when I was really young and some motivationals that I listened to when I was really young. Why you never feel better when you skip a day at the gym. Right? So, what does that obviously mean, right? The alarm clock goes off in the morning. You're tired. You're exhausted. You just want to sleep in. You want to stay in. You want to stay at home. Cold. It's winter. It's dark outside. You've woken up 5, 6 a.m. And you don't feel like going. You're tired. You're hungry. It's easier to stay home. So why don't you just stay? So you know that you never feel better when you skip. You know you never feel better when you don't go. Almost every single time that I've ever not felt like going to the gym, I never came back after going saying, damn, I really wish I stayed home. I would have felt so much better about myself if I just stayed at home. Life would have been so much better if I just stayed home. That's never happened to me. Not once has it ever occurred to me that I would feel better from staying home and not doing the thing that I'm supposed to do. You never feel better skipping day at work. You're committed to your work and you know it has purpose and meaning. Even if it's just a vehicle to get somewhere else, that work has meaning, right? So the fact that you're doing it, that you're showing up to work every day, when you skip, you should feel bad. And you never feel better going against what you know you should do, right? Like when your lower self wins over you, when your weaker self wins over you, when your more degenerate self wins over you, it wins over your higher self. And as much as right now that instant gratification that you got to rest, you got to relax, you got to take it easy, you got to chill. It feels good in the moment, but it doesn't help you in the long term. You know that, and I know that. And I've felt that before, right? Because there's days you finally do give in, and there's days even I give in, right, to that feeling. Let me just take a day off today. And taking a day off comes in very different forms with different people, right? Sometimes you're just taking a day off from the diet, which I would struggle with a little bit more. And you never feel better after doing that. You don't. You don't feel good after you've done that. You don't feel like you've actually achieved your goals, like you're getting closer to your goals when you do that. When you do that, you tend to always feel worse about it than better. You tend to always feel negative about it. You're never happy with yourself after you've done that. So what do? Because the thing is, internally, you know that every single time you've taken this action, you've chosen to snooze the alarm. You chose not to go to the gym that day. You chose to skip work. You chose to show up at work and not really given much of anything and just kind of lounge and just be there passively, right? You've chosen to not show up for the people you love. You chose to not do the more difficult thing. You always feel bad. Why do you still do it? See, you need to build a framework in your mind that says to you, I'm sure, right? Because the mind works in pattern recognition. So you have to recognize that the pattern is here, that I feel good in the moment when I don't do the thing I'm supposed to do. But I feel like crap the next day. I feel like crap when I look in the mirror and I hold my love handles and think, oh, I did this. I could have done something. I could have not skipped that workout. And you remember every workout you skipped. Every single day you don't look the way you want to. You remember the work you didn't do, the effort you didn't put in, the books you didn't read, when your bank account doesn't look the way you want it to look. When you're not able to do things to people you care about, you remember very quickly things you didn't do. At least if you're an accountable person. Now if you're not, you might blame somebody else. You can blame the weather. Winter's cold. Stay in. Winter's cold. I get it. Winter's freezing in the morning. And now look, I live in South Africa. Compared to places like the UK or the US, where I have like colleagues or friends, winter here is nothing. Now I'm going to tell you this right now. You guys have a choice every single morning to decide either go or to not go. And you can deal with the consequences of that. Now, if you're an accountable person, right, who's not blaming other people for your problems, you're going to understand that you're not going to feel good about that. Now, some people might feel good. You might feel happy that you skipped the day. You might like the instant gratification. Today your lower back doesn't hurt. Today your knees are feeling a little bit better. You feel rested. It's great, 100%. What does that do to your mind? Weakens it every single time. Makes you weaker every single time that you do it. You reinforce in reality that you feel better when you quit. Up to you. You got to make the choice there. You never feel better when you skip a day. I remember there was a speech by Owen Cook. It was very famous. He made a 4-part series called The Truth About Success. And when I was younger, this was a big thing among me and my friends. So he made one of them where he was really, really overweight and he lost weight and he was in fantastic shape. And I remember he said the mindset he took, because his goal at the time was to get to 10% body fat or something like that. And he said, the mindset I took was I'd rather die than miss a day at the gym. Now his job had him traveling around the world consistently, around the US consistently, and time and time again he was traveling all the time. And he managed to get in shape. He managed to do it. You see, he had a rule for himself that he would rather die than miss a day at the gym. Will Smith had this whole speech about I would rather die, he's willing to die on a treadmill than give up, than stop. So you can't beat me because no matter what, I'm willing to die on that treadmill. Now that might be a bit of an extreme way to look at it, but if you look at your life that way, you look at your life in the sense that you'd rather die than miss a chance at working hard to make more money. At the job that you chose, right? A job is a gift. I'm not going to come here and bash jobs, right? Like, I believe if your goal, your dream is to pursue something like entrepreneurship, that's what you want to do. And if your goal and your dream is to have a job that you love, then that's what you want to do. I got professional friends who love what they do. So that means you chose that route. You went to university and you studied for that thing. You spend your mom and dad's money, you study for that thing. You're doing the job now. You're doing the thing you worked hard for. Show up every day. Rather choose to be sick, tired, exhausted, than skip a day. And one of the rules I have for this is always, if I'm feeling sick, right? Because sometimes you genuinely are sick. Sometimes you genuinely are beat down and exhausted and tired and overworked, and you actually need the rest. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're just alive. So, which is it today? Well, here's my rule. Go anyway for the first day. I always say, if I feel like I'm too sick or tired, exhausted, or beat up to actually go to the gym that day, I'm willing to go. And if I feel the same way tomorrow, after I've had a nice rested night of sleep, got to bed early, right? Maybe take an Epsom salt bath. If I feel that way tomorrow, I skip the day. I'm genuine. It's not just an excuse in my mind. I genuinely do feel beat up, right? But I got to test myself. I've been training for years, but I still know I still have excuse. The body and the mind can be weak, and we all have the propensity to the weakness of the mind. So you have to consider that I'm probably a liar right now. My mind is probably lying to me, and it's probably trying to stop me from moving forward because it's telling me I'm tired and I'm probably not. It's telling me I can't do it and I'm probably not, even though I wrote a contract to myself saying I'm going to go to the gym 6 times a week. I'm going to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm going to skip Thursday. I'm going to go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever your routine. If you're skipping on a day not meant to be skipping, you made a contract with yourself, you're going to attend the dates you said you're going to attend. Then go anyway. And if the next day you really feel like you can't do it, don't do it. I got this from Jocko Willink. He uses this, and it's an amazing rule. It's an amazing rule because it's so simple. But you find how many times you learn how to distinguish the excuses from genuine ache, genuine problems, genuine, flu or sickness, whatever the thing is, right? So by doing this, what you build over the years is that you learn to distinguish, am I making an excuse? Or do I genuinely not feel well and you need to get some assistance and you go to the doctor, whatever. It's something very interesting because building this muscle of discernment to understand yourself better and learn what's an excuse to you and feel what's an excuse to you and what's reality. You get better at distinguishing the two. And even then, it still keeps the rule in play. But you get better at understanding yourself by having rules like this. So guys, always make sure you understand you won't feel better from not doing the thing. You won't feel better by lying on the couch. You won't feel better by taking it easy that day. You always feel better when you do the hard thing. Every single time you feel better when you do the thing you didn't want to do. Because where there's the most resistance, where there's the most pain, where there's the thing you really just is usually the right answer. it's usually what you're supposed to do. It's usually the direction you're being pulled into. Deep in your soul, you know that you're supposed to do that. And that is the thing that's going to tell you where to go. Where the resistance is usually where you want to be going. So guys, I hope you don't skip the gym. And I hope you enjoy the video, guys. Make sure, keep at it, keep pushing, keep training, and hopefully you like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll keep remembering to say that. So have a good one, guys, and thanks for watching.